Of the few puzzle pieces in F1 that are yet to fall into place, a significant one happens to be the future of Sebastian Vettel post-2020 when his contract with Ferrari will come to an end. According to at least one person who has been in contact with him, taking a break from the sport for a year to return in 2022 once the new regulations come into effect could be a good option. I'm your host Dylan Shelley, and first up on Formula World, Vettel should take a year off. Many in F1 have suggested that Vettel will only stay in F1 if he gets a car capable of fighting for wins. With Red Bull confirming that Vettel is not an option for them, it leaves only Mercedes as a possible alternative once his days with Ferrari come to an end. However, many in F1 see that as almost an impossibility as long as Lewis Hamilton stays in Mercedes. Former F1 CEO Bernie Ecclestone gave his opinion on whether Lewis would leave Mercedes. "I don't see him going anywhere. If Lewis leaves Mercedes, he'll really quit Formula 1. A switch to Ferrari, for example, wouldn't make any sense at all, because with Mercedes you already know that everything is well organised." He then revealed that he has been speaking with Vettel and suggested that he should take a sabbatical from F1 for a year and return in 2022. "I've talked a lot with Sebastian and I think he should take a year off. He's better to come back in 2022 with the new rules. Then he can take a step back and see what the new rules will bring about in F1. However, I think he would like to drive next to Lewis at Mercedes." Sainz is a lot better than people think. Current McLaren driver Carlos Sainz was Red Bull driver Max Verstappen's teammate during the Toro Rosso days. While Verstappen has gone on to become a multiple race winner in F1, Sainz has mostly been relegated to the midfield. With Sainz becoming a Ferrari driver from 2021, Sainz and Verstappen are expected by many in F1 to lock horns on the track. Former F1 driver Pedro Della Rosa thinks that Sainz will give Verstappen a run for his money. They are very excited about next season with Sainz at Ferrari. Carlos was very close to Max and they consider him to be one of the best or perhaps the best F1 drivers at the moment. Sainz is a lot better than some people think. He also gave his thoughts on a possible return for retired F1 driver Fernando Alonso. "I really hope that he returns. The best drivers have to be in F1 and that's Alonso. He really is an animal. He really hasn't gone with a sabbatical and won't need much time to get back in. He only thinks about racing and will do everything he can to be competitive anywhere." Fast feed. Former F1 driver turned commentator Martin Brundle thinks that the collision with Ferrari drivers in Brazil was the nail in the coffin for Vettel, not because Vettel was blamed, but because Ferrari saw that the two leaders did not work. Red Bull's Max Verstappen still considers Spa to be his favourite circuit, but that doesn't detract from Zandvoort, which with the new changes really is a super circuit. He also revealed that he will stay with Red Bull and does not really have the intention to ever leave. His team boss, Christian Horner, feels that they now have regulations they are comfortable with, but there is still fine-tuning required. He also revealed that they are in the process of evaluating the organisational changes required in order to comply with those regulations. He further revealed that Max has probably done more races on the simulator than the whole F1 season. Horner also confirmed that the teams in F1 will have around 80 people per team, charter flights and trackside teams won't be able to interact and mingle with each other when racing resumes. On a related note, the Austrian government has reportedly given the final go-ahead for a double race at Austria starting from the 5th of July. The Forbes list of the world's highest paid sportsmen include 3 F1 drivers in the form of Mercedes Lewis Hamilton, Ferrari Sebastian Vettel and Renault's Daniel Ricciardo at 13th, 32nd and 48th spots respectively. Daniel Ricciardo has not really been bothered to find out why Ferrari chose McLaren's Carlos Sainz over him for 2021. FIA race director Michael Massey has announced that in Austria it will be more of a continuation of where they were with the let them race principles towards the end of last year regarding punishing drivers. Motorsport Australia President Andrew Papadopoulos thinks that their up-and-coming open-wheel drivers will now have an even better opportunity to be a part of the Formula 1 as Ferrari are planning to start an academy in Australia. He also believes that this program will help them find the next Daniel Ricciardo or Mark Webber and hopefully the next Australian Formula 1 world champion. Riccardo Mosconi, the race engineer of Mercedes Valtteri Bottas, has revealed that sometimes you really have to push the communication with Bottas. Rocket, the former title sponsor of Williams, has released a statement announcing that as a group it remains fully committed to its other existing collaborations in motorsport and to exploring additional strategic collaborations in the future. They have also wished Williams all the best with their plans for potentially selling the F1 team. Williams Deputy Team Principal Claire Williams has revealed that they are fully funded to continue racing for the rest of the year. She also confirmed that they don't exactly have a plan yet, but they want to finish securing the future of the team within 3 to 4 months. F1's official website states that Rocket owe Williams a significant amount, around £10 million, for the period up to the end of 2019. Williams' former performance chief and race engineer Rob Smedley believes that the real Sebastian Vettel was seen towards the end of 2019, which according to him was Vettel's best year in Formula 1. Haas team boss Gunther Steiner is of the opinion that perhaps the budget cap could have gone further, as the level is still well above what they are spending now. And former F1 driver Pedro Della Rosa feels that this budget cap is still far too high and that anything over 100 million is ridiculous. Should Vettel take a year off in 2021? Be sure to vote in the poll and let me know what you think in the comments. And if you like this video, feel free to subscribe and check out my others for all the latest in the world of Formula 1.